I went to donate a saddle to a local therapeutic riding program that one of my kids had outgrown. And when I started realizing what they were doing and the work they were doing, and I was volunteering for them, it was like I saw a whole different level of what horses can do for people, and also realized what they had done for me. I'd go around and visit a lot of therapeutic riding programs when I was traveling, and people were saying, we need research, we need research. So then in 2002, I got a group of people together, and I said, okay, what do we need to do to get people interested in research? A few years later, the Horses and Humans Research Foundation was founded.
We know that the horse helps humans, but we want to know how. This person with cerebral palsy, this person with autism, this person with a learning disability, this person who's suicidal. Horses and Humans Research Foundation support those programs with research. And so part of this conference is to talk about different research people are doing and also educate people about how research can help them.
And one of these days we hope to be able to work more with different levels and different levels of grants.
We cannot survive in this world in silos. We've got to work together.
We have to have the science behind it. We have to ask rigorous scientific questions and get meaningful answers that we can put into practice to make the next generation of interventions more effective.
We all have this passion for the wellness of animals and the humans and working together, and we all have work on our own fields of in our own parts of the world. Everything I started practicing and learning about for the horses actually helped me. And if I can help other people learn how to do that, I am thrilled and grateful.
What we have now is people who don't do this for a living. They do it because it's their life. And that is why we have been able to put so much money straight to the program and so little for administration. It is all done out of passion. So we know that being around horses positively influences people, but I'd like there to be some rigorous research proving that. Not only do we need to produce rigorous research, but we need to tell the world about it.
I serve on the education committee for HHRF, and I first learned about Horses and Humans Research Foundation from a website search. I wanted to know more about what do we know about horses and humans and what kind of research is going on, and it popped up. And so I ended up going to their first conference, really liked the people that were starting this organization, and built some pretty close connections with them, and I've been coming to the meetings ever since, and I do various projects with them, help with figuring out how to design research studies, and it's kind of shaped how I do my own work with horses and veterans and at-risk youth.
I'm a veteran myself, and so I have a great passion for veterans and their mental health care. I've practiced conventional psychiatry for many years and saw that many people just weren't getting, they were getting better, but they weren't fully recovering and leading happy lives with high quality of life. Equine-assisted psychotherapy, we've seen a number of people who weren't engaged in treatment, but then came through our program and re-engaged in conventional treatment and really made incredible progress.
I've worked with so many veterans over the years. Working with the horse is a very fast way to help somebody reattach, because when you've been in such a terrible situation, you protect yourself by going into survival mode. When you're in survival mode, there's very few people you trust. They can reattach to an animal, a horse, that connects non-verbally. There's a lot of emotional connection without having to talk about it.
You're sitting across from me in my office. It's vulnerable. Like, you're one-on-one, and that's what we're seeing in youth suicide. Like, everybody wants to text or chat or, do video games. Everything that has no emotional integration between the two people. So you come out to the barn, there's space. There's an animal, there's something to focus on, so you don't have to focus on and feel so awkward. It's just such a beautiful environment, and I think having that openness and freedom is just fabulous.
Trauma lives in the body, and horses live in their bodies. They speak energy. Whatever a horse is feeling, it's going to act that out in its behavior. And it gives the client so much permission to be in their body, to experience what their bodies are telling them. And the story starts to come out through the relational connections that we're forming with the horses.
Horses and humans have really evolved together for millennia. I mean, they carried us into battle, they have been a mode of transportation, they've helped us farm our food, but a lot of the previous ways that horses and humans interacted with each other are outdated. We don't need to ride horses into battle anymore. But equine assisted services is kind of the new role for horses within modern society. I've just seen how much it can impact people, and to be a part of that is something pretty special.
First came the awareness that this was a therapeutic endeavor, then came the training for people to conduct this, and then came research to basically back up what we all instinctually knew. Oh yes, horses are good for people. We've seen it. Here's the anecdotal evidence. Now let's try and see if we can find some controlled evidence to prove that this works, to convince fundamentally the people who pay for that, the health insurance companies, to convince them that this is a valid way of approaching psychology, occupational therapy, physical therapy, speech and language pathology, that we can stand behind that and say, here's the proof that it works.
Most of the clientele that we have are not from wealthy families. So what I'd like to see is if we can get research behind it, and that way make it credible to the medical profession, the mental health profession, as a real tool for helping, then people can get paid for it the way they need to so they can make a living wage. And we can also deliver more services and help more people.
So I spend all day, every day researching. So working primarily with kids with autism right now and looking at integrating horses into occupational therapy. I'm doing the work, I'm collecting the data to be able to have numbers to show to people and say, look, what we're doing, it actually does make a difference.
I really wanted to say thank you to the Horses and Human Research Foundation, because Texas A&M Mechanical Engineering Department, we received a grant, and the study that we did looked at children with spastic cerebral palsy. The 8 times they rode, they became more in sync with the horse's movement. When a horse walks, there's a sinusoidal wave pattern that it imparts to the rider, and at the top of that pattern, that sinusoidal wave pattern, they became more in sync over the time that they rode the horse. And the reason it's so important is that when a person rides the horse imparts movement to the rider at the pelvis that we get when we walk. So you're getting a forward and a backward, you're getting rotation, and you're getting this lateral weight shift. So the horse's gait at a walk is rhythmical, symmetrical, frequent, bilateral, and symmetrical. So it's helping these people, these children, have some neuromuscular re-education and as they synchronize with the horse.
Right now we're showing that it does work, and these are the populations it works with, and these are best practices. What I'm looking for is the how. What is the actual element, the mystery behind it, between that horse-human interaction? And once we understand that, it will change our entire medical system, and especially the pharmaceutical industry.
Raising money for research is challenging. They don't understand how important it is. The donors water and fertilize the tree to keep us strong to support that program. And then from that, it keeps on going, because what you invest is going to create acorns, and those acorns are going to create more trees.
If someone wanted to donate to Horses and Humans, I would say of all the places out there, this is the place that the future lies for our field. I say donate money to programs because we need you there. But this is how we're gonna get money into those programs without just personal donations. We're gonna get it funneled through channels as we become more mainstream. People don't always understand what we're doing and what we're trying to put out there. But our mission is to have a universal understanding of the horse-human relationship and its impact.
I'd always talk about donations as cupcakes, birthday cakes, and wedding cakes. So we have a lot of cupcake donors that are, like $100 or less, but it's hard to find those big major donors that are going to invest and really see this move forward.
So if you're interested in what are the impacts for people with cancer, what are the impacts for people with MS, give us $15,000 and we will operate that grant. We are providing valuable information to every single practitioner, every single organization, not just here in the United States, but around the world. And if you want to be part of making that kind of impact, donate to HHRM.